Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of eXp Realty. MyNextHomeFinder.com. Welcome to the radio show that features local small businesses, amazing nonprofits, and all types of inspiring stories to give strength, instill love, and provide hope within our community. It's time for Outspoken Outreach with your host, Dr. Amanda Hackford.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being with us. Today, we have a very special show for you. We have Gary here, who is the board president of Voices for Children, which is an entity of the Guardian Ad Litem program. And this is for the 19th Circuit Court, which is in our area. They service the St. Lucie, Indian River, Martin, and Okeechobee counties. And he's going to kind of explain to you, if you're not familiar with the Guardian Ad Litem program, what exactly that is. So we want to thank you for being here and coming today. We really appreciate it.
I enjoy the opportunity to talk about Voices as well as the Guardian Ad Litem program.
Yes. And so I just want to kind of start with Guardian Ad Litem first for those who may not really know, maybe they know a little or not anything at all, and just let you kind of tell them what exactly that is for those who don't know. Well,
first of all, the process of becoming a guardian ad litem requires about 40 hours of training. When I came on board about 8 years ago, it was all classroom training with a little bit of online training. Right now, it's all online training. We're hoping at some point to get back to a little mixture again, because we think that the interaction between future guardians is important. Also, we like to have some existing guardians talk about what they may expect when they have a case, things that happen, that type of thing. So it's a matter of calling the office and asking for an interview. The background of guardians is all over the board. I was a salesman all my life. I think I took one course in sociology when I was in college, but so I didn't really have a sociology or a social work background.
And I think that's important for you to mention, because people need to understand that they can be from anywhere, any basically age, any background, and they can still help and do this.
Exactly. It's just a matter of, people, the term giving back is kind of overused, but I think it's probably germane in most cases. If you had a particularly good childhood like I did, I think you see the dysfunction in families and think that's not necessary. And when it happens, you want to do something. So It's been a good outlet for me. And, I couldn't golf every day anyway, so this works out.
Yes. And for those that don't understand maybe what exactly we're even talking about, and they're like, well, wait, what would I be applying for or trying to help with? It's you're advocating for children.
Right.
So you can kind of maybe explain to them what exactly you are doing as a guardian ad litem for these children.
Well, first of all, the cases that we deal with are cases of children in dependency. And a child goes into the dependency system when he or she is removed from their parents by the court. And the case ultimately ends up in front of a judge, and a judge appoints a guardian ad litem. And once a guardian is appointed to a case, to a family, I hate to say case, but that's what they are. But they're kids, they're children.
Exactly.
You have certain responsibilities in terms of advocating for that child. So in order to be the voice for that child, you have to know a little bit about what goes on in his life now that he's in the dependency system. He may be with an aunt, uncle, grandpa, grandma, just a caregiver, or a foster home. But you need to know how he's doing in school, that type of thing. And ultimately, you end up in court, what we call a judicial review. And it's about 10 different questions that are asked of the guardian. And so you have to know what's going on with that child in terms of school, how he's doing when he visits mom and dad, how he does when he visits siblings. all of those things go into your report when you go in front of the judge. The goal when a child is removed from a home is always reunification.
Right.
There are very few cases where they say, no, that's not possible. But in 99% of the time, I would say that's the goal. And so at that point, the parent is given a case plan. Are they, they have addiction problems, so they have to go, to addiction recovery.
Treatment or something.
If they're having anger issues, mental health issues, any number of things, the parents are given a case plan by Department of Children and Families. But I work on the side of the kids. But there's a point where I have to follow what the parents are doing as well. So when I go to court, I have to make my recommendation as to, based on how mom and dad are doing, and based on how the children are doing, what's the best.
You accompany them on visits and things like that when they visit the mom, or you talk to teachers. You do various things for the child that you're advocating for, so that when you do your assessment and you go to court, you're very well prepared and you're knowledgeable about the child and how they're behaving and how they're functioning and doing. Exactly.
And it's also important to know that when I sit down in court, we have a special interest attorney that sits next to me. So if we get into any legal discussion, because mom is going to have an attorney, dad's going to have an attorney, DCF themselves will be there. So they're going to be probably 4 attorneys. Right. But in that courtroom, I'm the only person not getting paid. Right. And that's important because I have no agenda. My only agenda is doing the best for that child.
Yes, exactly. You want to see what the very best outcome is. And of course, like you said, reunification to the parents of the child. However, it depends on when that time is right for that. It might not be that next week or month or year. It's when the parents have accomplished what they need for the timing of that child to reunify with the parents.
Yeah, and the goal is to do it within a year, but frankly, very seldom does it get done in a year for various reasons. But that is the goal.
And then throughout the Guardian Ad Litem program, you have also an entity of an actual nonprofit that helps you be able to do these things, and it's called Voices for Children.
Right.
And that is what you're the president of on the board of Voices for Children, as well as being a Guardian Ad Litem for the circuit. But you're the president, so you can tell us a little bit about the actual nonprofit itself.
Well, a nonprofit was required simply because the Guardian Ad Litem program is a state agency.
Right.
And as such, they can't take
funds.
Right.
Little funds and can't accept funds. So
now, when for some people, so how come the state doesn't fund 100% of your needs? Well, frankly, we don't know from year to year what the needs are going to be, because the biggest, I would say, line item in our budget is children's needs. So that's going to be based on a lot of things. It could be based on how many kids are in dependency for that period of time. When foster parents take in children, there's this kind of a mistaken belief that they're getting rich. And I think the average foster parent gets $11 per day per child. You're not going to get rich taking care of a 10-year-old on $11 a day. So
your meals
things
cost
come
more
up.
than that.
For children in Florida, summer camp's a big deal. Swimming lessons. We've taken care of judo lessons. Things that a lot of times, the psychiatrist or the sociologist that is talking to that child says, well, I think this would help the child out, taking this type of training. We had a case here locally where the little girl was on a ventilator. And if the ventilator stopped, her life would be in danger. So we provided a backup generator for the home. But a lot of times it just is things that are out of the norm. But yet, when you think about it, it's what children that are living in a regular house with parents would enjoy. Baseball glove. One of my first cases, I bought the child a baseball glove, and when I gave it to him, he put it on the wrong hand. He never had a baseball glove in his life. So, but these are things that we try to normalize the life of that child.
They're just the normal everyday, what all the kids do in your everyday home. And so you're trying to make it as normal as possible, like you said. And I think we were speaking earlier about some children needing services like OT and things like that. And you're saying, well, what would they need OT for at such a small age? And, but learned that, just putting a shirt on or brushing teeth and things like that are some of the things that the occupational therapists were teaching young children, because these children in some of the circumstances had never been taught.
Right.
And so, but it's things like that some of these therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, and some of, that are working with these children are teaching them at such a young age that you don't realize until you really come across these situations that they just don't know. Nobody's ever taught them, worked with them, spent one-on-one time with them. And so the normalcy for them of other things like that are really important. Just even socialization of being in a club or a group or a sport is really important.
A lot of our kids, like in the summer, we work with boys and girls clubs to get them into a camp situation. So yeah, it's really a wide range of things. And I don't think in my 6+ years on the board, I don't think we've ever turned anything down.
Good.
And sometimes it's not an expensive item. Sometimes like I say, it could be a baseball glove. But we want to normalize that child's life as much as possible, because we always say that they are unwilling participants in the dependency system.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not there by the choice of their own, that's for sure. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to let people know all about the ways more about obviously what you do, but ways they can help, how they can get involved if they have it in their heart to get involved, ways they can help by donating and things to little things like a baseball glove. Sure. So stay with us and stay tuned, please.
Hackford Landscaping is the full-scale tree service hardscape and landscape company that will do any outdoor job. Call Hackford Landscaping for tree trimming, tree injections, and removal. Services include landscape design, stump grinding, paver stone projects such as walkways, patios, and pool decks, landscape lighting, irrigation, hedge and bush shaping, flowers, trees, shrubs, rocks, sand, mulch and sod, and more. Any outdoor job, large or small, give Hackford a call. 772-584-7364. Online at hackfordtreeservice.com.
They say a good contractor is hard to find until they find us. Hi, this is Greg, owner of Workhorse Residential Contractor. If you've got a job to do, call Workhorse. We can remodel your whole home, your bathroom, your kitchen, or even just put a fresh coat of paint on whatever you need. We'll give you a fair price, and we always show up on time. We're not handyman, we're licensed and insured contractors. We serve up to Sebastian and down to Fort Pierce. If you've got a job to do, call Workhorse. Find us on Facebook, Workhorse Residential Contractor.
Water service? Don't let your money go down the drain. Make sure to get a quote from Affordable Water. Many times, Affordable Water's original price is less than the competitor's discount price. Yes, Affordable Water really is affordable. Make sure to get a quote today, because you haven't gotten a quote until it's affordable. Affordable Water.
Call 589-7677 for your H2O. Call the Pure Water Pros. Affordable Water.
Shop the Habitat Restore in Vero Beach, the store that builds houses. The Habitat Restore is where you'll find new and gently used items such as furniture, home decor, building materials, appliances, lighting, and much more. Did you know that 1 in 3 Habitat homes are built by the Indian River Habitat Restore? And tax-deductible donations can be dropped off at the Habitat Restore just north of 45th Street on US 1 in Vero, or they'll pick them up for free. Support the store that builds homes. Visit online at irchabitat.org.
Today at lunch, enjoy a Southern home-cooked meal paired with the best sweet tea in town at Marsh Landing Restaurant. You'll love our daily lunch specials like chicken and dumplings every Thursday, and you've got to try the handcrafted sandwiches. Experience old Florida cuisine at Marsh Landing in Fellsmere.
It's heavy on your mind. Does buying a home now make the most sense? Let's talk about it. I'm Chris Nolan from the Nolan Group of eXp Realty. I'll consult you for free and formulate a roadmap to home ownership. No commitment necessary. Visit nolanshow.com.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here with Gary, and we've been talking all about the Guardian Ad Litem program, as well as the nonprofit entity through them, which is Voices for Children. And we were going to tell you ways that you can help. These children really do need your help. They need advocates to speak for them, to be their voice, and also just to be there for them. So I'm going to let Gary tell you ways that volunteers can help. How many volunteers do you think you have now? Probably it fluctuates, but...
Yeah, the Guardian Ad Litem program locally, we have, I think right now, about 275 active. There are over 100 that have gone through the training, have done cases, but maybe they've taken a break, or maybe they're inactive. But yeah, for the 4-county area, it's about 275.
And is that actual Guardian Ad Litems, or those just volunteers doing different things?
No, they're trained guardians.
Okay.
Yeah,
and then do you have volunteers that just maybe do other things to help, like things that you need help with that are not actual Guardian Ad Litems, like both, or am I confusing?
Yeah, we do events to raise funds. Now, for a while we were doing 2 events every year, and then with COVID we didn't do any for a couple of years. And we just did one with the St. Lucie Mets a couple Saturdays ago.
Okay.
It was very well received, because the minor league baseball and Major League Baseball signed a contract with Marvel Comics.
Okay.
So all of the Marvel superheroes.
That's cool.
We happen to have Captain America there.
All right.
But yeah, when we do an event, usually we're looking for volunteers. It's not a real heavy commitment. Okay. It might just be for a few hours.
Right.
One thing we're talking about doing is trying to get more things done locally. Instead of doing it in St. Lucie County, doing an event, maybe a walk or a run in each of our counties. That's
what I was wondering, is just maybe if there's someone that doesn't want to actually be a guardian, but maybe wants to help in some capacity, cooking an event, things like that, if there's volunteers needed that way too. Of course we need guardians, and if there's anyone out there that wants to look into being a guardian ad litem, you can always go to the guardianadlitem.org. You said is the website, so guardianadlitem.org. And find all the information you need at becoming one, the training. There's lots of information, all the contacts to people you can get in contact with, emails, phone numbers, that kind of thing, and also how to do the training, sign up for training. But those are needed so much. There's so many kids that need a voice, and it is something that is just, I can't express how needed it is. But also there's a program called a Gal Pal, is what you're saying.
Right.
And this is something that is just as simple as $5 a month. So you sign up, and that is all. You can get to the Voices for Children page from the guardianadlitem.org page, but you can also go directly to voicesforchildrenotc.org, voicesforchildrenotc.org. And that is where you can make donations, whether it's just a one-time donation, or you can find the information about Gal Pals. But Gal Pal is a $5 a month commitment. $5 a month is more than, I spend more than that a day on coffee. So it's kind of like just something small that you can do to contribute if you don't have that time to put in as far as volunteering. But it's such a little small amount that goes a long, long way to a child. So that is something also that you can do if you want to help but don't have time, maybe due to your job or other commitments. That is something that you guys are implementing. I don't know if there's more that you can tell about Gal Pal or the name, but you can go directly to that website, and for $5 a month, you're kind of doing a sponsorship of a monthly donation of only $5, literally $5. That is a coffee, basically, and it's only once a month. I buy that every day. So I feel bad now. So,
one of the challenges we have, because right now all our board members reside in St. Lucie County. And we've been on the lookout for new board members. And we recently, one of the guardians in Okeechobee came forward, is going to be on the board. A guardian in Martin County came forward to be on the board. And I'm still looking for Indian River County.
Okay, so that's right here. So everybody listening, we're based in Indian River. So if you're listening and you want to think about being on the board for Voices for Children, get a hold of them and voicesforchildrenotc.org if you have it in your heart to help and be on the board and speak for these children who can't speak for themselves.
Yeah, and because we're in Indian River County today, I might mention that we've had kind of I don't want to say an outbreak, but recently our caseload in this area has grown quite a bit. Occasionally what happens is because every kid that goes into court needs an attorney from our program, Voices for Children has had to step forward to help hire an attorney on a part-time basis. Okay. And that's another need we have right now. The state has now given us an allocation for one more attorney in Indian River County.
Okay.
So if there's any budding attorneys or somebody that says, hey, I'm done with the rat race, I just want to help people for a while, and they have a law license, give us a call because we are interviewing.
Yeah, so we need a licensed attorney too in Indian River County.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we need that Indian River County attorney to step up here, guys. They're doing a good thing, a family attorney or family knowledge to help these kids. They really, really need it. It's such a sad situation, and they didn't choose to be there. So if you want to help and you're an attorney, get a hold of them. Or you're newly out of school and you need experience to get to your next step in your career, get a hold of them because this would be a good thing for you to do as well. And the website is up, but it's guardianadlitum.org or the voicesforchildrenotc.org. You can go to either one and it'll direct you to either place. So, and you can make a monetary donation just one time, or you can do $5 a month. That's not very much to help children that need a voice, or volunteer. Obviously you can sign up to volunteer, or just go and look at, kind of just check the information out and see what it entails and see if it's something that would interest you. If your heart is in that foster care system, if you have a heart for that, we all have a heart for something different, where our heart is, where we feel our purpose is. If that's you, check them out. But any last minute things before you go?
That's a tough question.
I don't know.
No, the thing about the system is the guardians that I have worked with have really a deep devotion to these kids. But everybody's got their own way of doing it. I talked to a lot of guardians who say, I had this case 5 years ago and I still call him or call her. Yeah. I had this case 10 years ago and we still exchange Christmas cards. Yeah. And that's great. But myself, my belief is that I'm in that child's life for a period of time. And I'm trying to make that child's life as good as it can be for that period of time. But once he either goes back to his parents or gets adopted, and lately it's been about 50-50 in terms of kids getting adopted versus going back to their families. But, once that child has, something has been determined which way it's going to go, and that child is with a good family again, I walk away.
That's your season. So you're looking at it as a season, which is fine because we all go through seasons in life. So that's their season with you and your season with them. And
now every now and then I might text or email mom or dad,
check up.
And just to check on it because I am curious. And some of these kids that I took, worked with when they were 2 or 4, you like to see how they're doing.
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
I don't want to be a commitment to it because, frankly, I think that you want to see them do well. But if things don't work out,
you want them to move on and go.
Right.
Well, we appreciate what you do, and everyone does that is doing what you're doing, all the guardians. And so we thank you for coming And as always, everyone stay safe and be blessed.